Hello, hello. Here we are, another episode. Thank you for joining us. We have with us the incomparable, the gorgeous goddess Nicolette. She
No,
is one of my favorite people and a purely light being. And I am thrilled that she has agreed to join us today. I'm going to hand it over to her and let her tell you whatever she wants to say about herself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Nicolette, your journey, and then we'll see where the conversation goes.
beautiful, beautiful. Yes. So I first met Maryam. I attended one of her amazing courses, which was a beautiful part of my journey. So I had a near-death experience, and it was shortly after the near-death experience that I took Maryam's course, and it really helped me ground because after the near-death experience, I was so awakened, so opened up, and really maneuvering the 3D, the physical world, as well as trying to maneuver this whole new reality for myself. So I'm so grateful for you and your offerings and your magic that have
Thank you.
assisted me on my journey and where I am today. So, yeah, so I'm a channel and a healer, and I am really diving into self-inquiry and creating programs for people to come back to the truth of who they are, to remember, integrate, and embody the truth of who they are. And this is a journey that I have been on for the last 6 years since my near-death experience, and really shedding everything that I knew not only about myself, but about life,
Mhm.
life on earth, life in a human body.
Right.
And yeah, and then rebuilding from that place grounded in truth, which is really shedding it all, returning back to the void, and then birthing anew from something that is the most authentic, clear version of myself. So this is the work that I hope to share with many, of empowering them to remember who they are, to remember how powerful they are, and everything that they have access to, that they are their greatest teacher, their greatest healer, that each individual has everything that they need, and just remembering to come back within, to bring the energy back to the self,
Right.
because we are our most important piece of the puzzle, right? Like it's like each person creates a whole new reality. So it's like each person needs to be grounded in to what their truth is and what who they are. And then from there we can all be our perfect little pieces of the puzzle and recreating this new earth and rebuilding a new, more aligned structure.
So I'm gonna ask you a little bit about the near-death experience, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
of course.
I know, I mean, of course, I've watched a lot of different informational type films and videos and podcasts and things like that about near death. And I also know a couple of other people who have had this experience. With one of them in particular, she remembers exactly the other side. I mean, what happened when she crossed over. Was it the same for you when you did? Do you remember?
No, I don't have like a recollection like that. Like I love watching documentaries and people explaining their experiences. Um, for me, so I was hit by a car on a moped. I was like T-boned, and so I broke all the left side of my hip, my leg. I had to get like 8 blood transfusions,
Oh
and
my.
it was a lot really fast. So I remember just being like what's happening? And then I would like, yeah, kind of disappear again and then wake up and be like, what's happening? So it's been a lot of like going back and recollecting and getting back the memory from exactly that point in my life. But what I remember most is post accident.
Mm-hmm.
Really, all of my psychic abilities just exponentially amplified. Like, these are things that I've had my whole life since I was a little girl, but it was easy for me to sort of ignore or not put too much attention to it. It was just, it is what it is. It's normal. It's just, yeah. And then after the accident, I was like, oh, this is something I need to learn how to control and master and focus, or else I'm going to lose my mind.
Right. Did you see like sacred geometry in people or, stuff like that that one hears
Oh,
like,
after I mean, this wasn't during my accident, but after my accident, absolutely. I would look around and I would see sacred geometry everywhere, in the skies, in the trees. I mean, everywhere I would look, I would see the sacred geometry.
you still
And
see it?
yes, if I focus the energy. But before, I didn't know how to focus the energy. And so it actually created uh, a state in which I really was only able to thrive in the little bubble that I had created at the time. And then I realized I need to go out in the world. And if I need to go out in the world, I need to be able to attune these abilities to be able to navigate through any circumstance, any scenario. So it took time in my bubble to learn how to manage and build up the ability to actually go out in society again, because it was so much. And the trees and nature and the earth and the waters were my greatest teachers during that time, helped me exponentially, because this was all new for me. I'd never put any notice to my abilities. And so I didn't know what resources were out there. I just knew I need to figure this out. And so nature was really there to support me and help me and teach me how to ground and focus the energy. Yeah.
Exciting. So I am going to sort of digress just a little bit and sort of
Yeah.
jump ahead a little bit because it's very exciting to me.
Yeah.
Um, Talk about the hybrid children and your connection, the galactic stuff, if you will. How
Yeah.
did you come into that, and what was the initial spark that sort of brought the memory back to you?
Yeah. So when I was looking at different resources that were out there, I found the book Open to Channel, like at the bookstore in town. So I bought it, I took it home, and I like did the first meditation. I never really had a meditative practice, so I was all new to this. So I sat down and I went to do the first meditation, and a mantis being shows up right away, right in front of me.
Oh, okay.
And I had never had an experience like that. I had seen unicorns and dragon, other beings that I was aware of, but this was the first being that I had never like seen before, you know. so, um, so yeah, so I met Anya. Her name, she goes by Anya for me. And she's a caretaker of the hybrid children, and she is like considered a parallel self of mine. And so her role specifically is really assisting the hybrid children with their emotional intelligence, their emotional abilities, processing, feeling, mastering the emotional body. It's so powerful. And so the mantis beings are really capable of working with those energies more than some of the other beings that are also a part of the hybridization program. So I met her and I felt the energy of the children, but I didn't really understand what was going on. It wasn't like, oh, duh, there's hybrid children up in the sky being caretaken by mantis beings. And I was watching interviews with ED, with Ruben Langdon, which we love.
It's wonderful.
And yes, and so Bridget Nielsen, her episode came on, and it like all clicked. I was like, oh my gosh, these are who I've been interacting with. Like, these are the hybrid children. And then once that door opened, everything else kind of came into place in my understanding of it all. And I would go there and teach lessons, and then they would also come to me and teach lessons. And we would play in the forest. During that time where I was in that little bubble stage, I was really living in multiple dimensions. I mean, it was really an incubative time, where I was really interacting with the elemental realm all the time. They were around me. I could see them. I was fully there in that reality. And same with them. So they would, come and visit me on Earth, not with their physical body, but with their etheric body. But because I was in that interdimensional space, it was like they were right there in front of me and we could interact in that way. But for the last 3 years or so, maybe less, I've sort of not worked with them as heavily. It was like just for a couple of years where I was working with them really routinely. And then my exploration sort of led me elsewhere. And I still love working with their energy, visiting if I have clients that want me to connect with their hybrid children or the hybridization program. I enjoy doing that, but it hasn't been a super focus over the last couple years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel most people have perhaps hybrid children, or do you find that it's been specific to certain groups?
Yeah, I think that the percentage is sort of always changing because the timelines are always changing and things can change. But the percentage that I've been given in the past is like around 60% of people,
Wow.
which is a
Okay.
lot of people.
Oh my goodness.
But each person isn't involved the same way as the other. So some people, it is energetically, their energy has been used in the creation of these children in some way. Sometimes it is genetically, like physically. But these children, they have like energetic and physical DNA or imprints from many, many, many different beings and people. So it's not like they're taking a female human and a male alien and like making a baby. It's like
Right,
I don't
right.
really understand it all, but it's like it's a lot that goes into the soup of creation for these children.
I mean, Bashar says some of that too. He talks
Yeah.
a little bit about that kind of thing, but I'm not, I don't fully understand it either,
Yeah.
but it is very interesting to me. So
Yeah.
I don't have any memories of maybe, being out there, but I have to say that um, a mantis being has been showing up in my meditation the last several, I want to say a couple of months actually, which is
Wow.
thing. And I didn't know your connection with the mantis beings. I
Yeah.
only had heard of them through our mutual friend, but I was not aware. And I get freaked out of
Yeah.
what they call mantises. I mean, I like all the bug family, they just freak me out.
Totally.
So
One
it's
time,
like,
I was doing ayahuasca and I literally became a mantis. Like my arms were mantis-like arms, and I literally couldn't get my hands back. And that's when my freaky outie of mantises started because they didn't freak me out until I was it, and then I was like, okay, ew. So I get it.
there was once I got home and it's like 2 days in a row. And my area where I live, they're not, as far as I know, they're not native to where I live.
Yeah.
So there was a mantis being like, skip a day and twice this happened. And I'm sitting in my car looking around like
Wow.
here. And I thought of it as a invitation, to be honest with you. I'm like, okay, here I am. This is a good sign. Here is
Yeah.
this beautiful creation, and I am freaking out.
Yeah.
What do I do? How do I get inside my house?
Yes.
Waiting for
How
the
to go.
mantis to just fly away, and they don't move very fast. It's just she's just sitting there like, you fool. Don't you know I'm here for a reason? But I shushed it away somehow. I got somebody to shush it away and never came back. So I'm like, okay, I lost my chance.
Oh, it's okay. We'll take them in meditation. We don't need them.
And then, like a while afterwards, one started showing up in my meditation, and I'm like, okay, I need to maybe explore this, but I haven't quite talked to her yet. She's just, I have this particular meditation every Wednesday that I go into my temple.
Yeah.
On the way to my temple, I mean, I get visited by my, yes, dragon, and then I have this
Yeah.
just white lion, and they've just been there forever. They don't ever come inside, even though I invite them, they don't come inside. They wait for me out there. And now there is a mantis being, and today she was a lot more prominent, and she's also white. I don't know what it is. Everything I see, like my dragon's white, my lion is white, they're all white for some reason. But anyway, I'm like, perhaps a conversation soon.
Yes, yes, yes. Like we're just testing it out, and then I will tell you why I am here.
Exactly. I'll tell you, just ask me, have a conversation with me. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this one. But
Mm.
it's just interesting that now a lot of people I've noticed are starting to talk about the mantis beings, whereas I'd never heard, I guess they're showing up more and more energetically to a lot of people.
Yes, I love it. I love hearing the stories because, I travel with Tony, and so we have the mantis crystal skulls, and that ignites so much remembrance for people of, oh my God, I saw them in my meditation. Like, I didn't know what it was. Like, that's what it was. It's so cool. Or just hearing people's stories is my favorite. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So
Mm.
tell us more. Tell us more. And I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you for a favor towards the end and see if you'll be okay with that. But share with us more about your experiences and what kinds of things, you help people with now.
Yeah, yeah. So I work like my first client is the earth always. Like I always like since I was a little girl, I'm an only child, so I would just spend all of my days in the trees and then come back down for dinner, go back up to the trees. I mean, I was always in nature. It's always been my home. And so then I lived in Hawaii for 5 years, and I lived, off grid by myself in an amazing home, and really got to be immersed. Like my thing I valued the most at that time was like time alone in nature, and that's what I got. I had so much time alone in nature to really heal and to really get to the root of so much that I had been carrying and letting lead my life for so long that I wasn't aware of, like, oh my gosh, that insecurity is literally leading my life. No more. Like it's
We can all
time.
relate to that for sure.
Totally. It's time for reclamation. It's time for liberation. It's time to live in our power and our magnificence. And
Preach,
so,
sister, preach.
yes, like everybody, I just want everybody to feel like the most fabulous, like everybody is so amazing. I'm just brought to tears of the beauty of life on earth daily, just people interacting. I just love it. Earth is my favorite place to incarnate. I had a session with Debbie Solaris, and she talked about my soul's path. She's like, you really don't stray. You really have been a healer lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, which is really what I had felt. And so that also is why Earth is like my favorite place to incarnate, because for a healer, this is where we can do the most work and make the most impact and the most change and the most ripples in all of creation. So getting to be here and doing the work within myself, transmuting, alchemizing, feeling, experiencing it, neutralizing it, that it's my life's mission and work. And then to get to be of service and help others, it's what we're here for. And so it just brings me so much joy. Yeah.
Fantastic. I mean, you're really something special. Experiencing your meditation that had the channeling in it. I have not had too many experiences like that. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, it's one of the few such experience that I actually remember. I can like, as soon as I think about it, I'm like right back there. You totally took us on a journey, but it was like for me, you know me a little bit, so you know I struggle sometimes getting in my own way, and I feel like I'm not connecting as much and whatever. My gosh, I went right there. I mean, you just took us all on that journey, and I was riding those waves. I was with those, dolphins, and it was just really unbelievable.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I received it so fully, and I have chills, and I'm just so grateful. And I
Well, thank
really,
you. Thank you. That was, you know, uh, just such an incredible moment. It made coming to that retreat worthwhile, honest to goodness. I'm like, okay, this is why I'm here. Just through that meditation, I'm just like, okay, if I never, take anything away from this, this is it. This is the one thing. It really touched me. It was very, very special. So thank you for that.
yeah, I've really been making the sort of transition, and that retreat was a huge showing to me that yes, what I've been feeling is right. So I've been sort of making this transition from just trance channeling and answering questions to really bringing people into the space and cultivating an experience if they're open and available for it, for deep activation, deep release, deep remembrance. And so that's where I've been really focusing my energy, is doing these sort of meditative journeys. And it's totally channeled, but
Oh
uh,
yeah.
yeah, it feels more in line with what I'm meant to do at this time. So yeah,
And it is all about remembering, isn't it? I mean, we hear this a lot, but it really is true. I mean, it's all about remembering who we are, I guess. A purpose, one of the reasons we keep incarnating, I think, is not only to grow, but to remember that.
and then when we remember, then it gets really fun because then we just get to experience, and play and be like, okay, I know who I am. I am the light. There's nothing but the light, and I know that I can root in that trust and that truth and that love. And then I get to go play and experience and get to enjoy all the other aspects of myself as cute humans, and the earth and swimming and like feeling and like everything that the body allows us to do. It's just the best. And I really didn't get that for a while. I was, there was so much pain. I was disabled for several years,
Oh,
so I really was like dissociating from the body and living primarily within these quantum realms. And then the juice is when the embodiment really happened. And it all happened exactly how it was meant to. I needed to surrender to that point to get and cultivate everything to be where I am now. But now being in the embodied truth, like seeing and feeling the joy of just having a body as this human experience, this is the best. So
so I'm sure you come across, since you've been doing a lot of events and all that, I'm sure you come across, how should I word this? Beings who are not necessarily, I mean, it's more than not being aligned. They sort of maybe feel a little darker. I can't think of any other way of describing it, but a little darker, and they might sort of get into the space and kind of manipulate the field and all that. Um, I'm sure you pick up on that. How do you deal with beings like that, people like that?
Yeah. Um, well, they can absolutely be catalysts for reclamation for the people. So if they are discerning and saying, hey, something doesn't quite feel right, then that person just gave that person a gift of like, wow, I can trust my discernment. And I don't believe that something can happen that's not contracted or with the will of the person on a grander level, maybe not consciously. Um, and that this is a part of their journey, you know, to navigate and to come back into their power, because when we remember that, we're untouchable. Nothing can um, impact us from that place of knowing. Um, and so it is a journey to get there. When right after the accident, I dealt with these psychic attacks, people call it, um, very, very heavily. I could not sleep. I definitely couldn't sleep with the lights off. I literally had to have the lights on all the time because they were coming in, the energies, they were coming in like physically, you know, like in their etheric bodies. It was so intense. It was so disturbing. And I'm so grateful because it's exactly what I needed for my journey. And so everything is the light. Everything is made up of light, even the dark. So even the core of the dark is still rooted in the light. And I have a deep gratitude for the way that the dark catalyzes us as well as allows us to experience who we are as the light, or play and explore whatever each person decides or chooses for themselves. And so you know, I obviously don't support people going out and having nefarious agendas. And I also trust in people's discernment and do what I can and want to continue doing what I can to enable people to be so connected with themselves that they can't be tricked or manipulated in those ways. It's obvious. It's an obvious read of energy that this is not in the highest, most free vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that makes sense.
So I guess you kind of covered the global stuff too, because globally the earth is going through some things to not to minimize it, but we're all feeling it, and it doesn't always feel positive, I have to say. It feels dark, it really does. And I struggle some days um, with shedding light on that. I try not to get myself get into it, but I'm part of humanity. I've incarnated for a reason to not be in a bubble. I'm here to be with others. So I can help at times, not getting affected by what I feel is dense and not very bright.
Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. And I really, as a healer, I really feel the importance of being that vessel for healing. And so even though I mean, we are all free. Like, especially this planet is like so free. We get to play wherever you want to play, experience whatever you want to experience, right? On the scale of light and dark polarity.
Yeah.
And so sorry. So much coming in. So oh my gosh. So, in being a healer and knowing myself as free, as abundant, as love, as light, and then being able to be that vessel for deep healing, knowing that everything that exists on this earth is a part of me, is a part of creation, and I am a part of creation, therefore is a part of me. So being that vessel of witnessing, saying, oh, I see this wound in the world playing out, whether it's in a part of the world, in a certain person, in a certain whatever, and then really going deep into the root of what is there, feeling, holding space, and allowing this energy to transform as the earth is transforming. And so we are all one. So I, choose to live in sovereignty and freedom and love, and yet I return time and time and time again to the darkness, to feel, to really be able to hold space and heal and understand. And yeah, so I really work from that place of neutrality, because everything deserves to really have a voice and a space. And then from there, we can really get to the core wound, feel, and release it. So I have so much gratitude for those souls that have chosen these lives of imprisonment and harm and these things, and the work that they are doing for the greater whole, for all of creation to better understand itself, to better heal. I mean, as individuals, we're all pretty much giving data to the creator for who the creator is. And so we are, as earth, we get to really go into the thick of it, of what is hiding in those crevices, so that we can unearth them and bring light to them, right? So yeah, because I definitely let the world weigh on me so heavily, just through the deep compassion and empathy and darkness. And I just wanted to change everything, and I wanted to help. And I felt also powerless and hopeless, and like it just felt like I was drowning in the weight of it all. And I really learned that that is not how I can be of best service, that I can be in my light and in my lightness and in my truth, and that this is how I can make the greatest impact. And then each person has their own piece to play, that I don't need to carry it all and feel like it's all on me. Like, we're here to do it together. And
that's good to hear. Thank you for that reminder. I really appreciate it. Now, I wonder whether you would be willing to just do a little channeling and bring us a message for you connect to, if you'd be willing to do that.
Of course, yeah. So we'll probably do just like a little, we'll have everybody close their eyes if they want, and really bringing all of your energy back to you, here, present, grounded, embodied. Those who are watching this, you are messengers. The truths in which are revealed constantly through your heart, through your body, through your experiences. they are important to this wave of remembrance that is being brought in very heavily at this time on your planet, within your planet. You are all extensions of her. So as she is going through these shifts, these activations, these realignments, these changes physically as well as energetically to the physical and energetic body, this is extending to all of you as well. So it's an important time to tune in with yourself as you are going through this major transformation into a whole new being. Whole new energetic codes are coming online for the earth, for humanity. Abilities are being reactivated and remembered. And it is time to really claim your role that you came here to hold. And that is through the heart, through the authenticity, through the presence of each and every moment, of being aware of what you are being called into in each and every moment, and trusting that as things are unfolding, the person, the energy, the wisdom in which you will need for this unfolding will be unlocked and embodied as the time is ready. So not getting too caught up in, I must do this exercise, this meditation in order for me to be ready for this next step. And really dropping even more, even deeper into surrender and into trust and into knowing that in each and every moment you have and you are everything that you need in order to take on this next level of beingness, this next level of relating to yourself, to the world, to your service or your offerings, and allowing these changes to occur both internally and externally with the most amount of trust and the least amount of resistance. And this will catalyze your journey. However, you will all get there. It's inevitable that we are all moving to the same place. It is simply what path, what journey do you want to take? There is that path of the divine will to your soul's destiny, to your soul's calling. And this takes a great amount of courage and trust and bravery to call yourself to that highest timeline in which the divine is leading you to. And having the patience, understanding, and compassion that everybody is on a different journey, that everybody is meant to take different paths and get there at different times. So there is nowhere to rush. There is no need to make sure that all of your friends and family have the same amount of understanding and integration that you have so that you guys can all be on earth together. It's really the holding space and holding the unconditional love and acceptance for each person in their journey, and understanding that that is the exact understanding that source needs, is the journey that they are taking. And to use those triggers as a reflection for you if you want to choose differently. If you are choosing a different path than them, then allow that to be a guidance for you for what you are being called into, and no longer putting the blame or the energy or the focus on how others can rise, knowing that they are all on their path of rising already. What are you being called into? What do you need at this time? Who are you, and what do you really want? And returning to this place again and again and again with no expectation and no attachment, and really opening up to receive all of the magic and the miracles that are available for you. You are so supported. You are so loved at this time. We are here for you. You have these teams and assistants. Call on us. Use us, direct us, tell us what you are ready for, and watch your life unfold as you are the creator. And return time and time again, releasing the victim and coming in to being the full sovereign creator. And know that everything is perfect. That it may look scary, crazy, sometimes so crazy it's comical. And know that this is all unfolding in divine perfection. Stay the eye of the storm. You do not have to be swept up in the chaos. You can be that anchor of peace for the earth, for the collective, while allowing the chaos and possible destruction go on so that we may rebirth anew. And do not be afraid to do this for yourself time and time again, shedding everything you know yourself to be born anew. We love you. We send our unconditional love, our thanks and our gratitude for the work that you are all doing at this time. We see you, we honor you deeply. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow. It hit on every point I wanted to ask. Who did we have the pleasure of listening to?
You know, I don't really have. I've asked, like, what do I call you? Because it's very much a collective. It's very motherly. So there are different civilizations and beings within this collective, but I really just like to summarize it as that sort of motherly, divine motherly energy. And yeah.
It was a beautiful energy. It really was. It felt so comforting. I felt held. It was just amazing. Thank you so much for bringing this message. I think it was really, really helpful and will be helpful for anyone who listens to it, because we all need to remember that and get validated that it's okay to come back and do this again and again, restart as many times.
Totally. There's no rush. The journey is the beauty. Like, yeah, no matter how many detours or we want to take. Yeah. What's it called? The scenic route, right?
Exactly. And sometimes that's needed because of the surprises you find on the way, right?
Totally. And I just wanted to thank you so much for showing up, for humanity and the earth, and bringing these aligned people, holding the space, and asking the questions. And yeah, it's just so valuable. And I'm so grateful that I got to be here with you today and that I got to be,
It's my pleasure and my honor.
sharing your.
So, for those who want to find you and find out about your activities and events and all that, where can they find you? Of course, we're gonna have it on the page as well, but just, let people
Yeah.
know.
Um, Instagram and TikTok, it's at Nicolette Morgan _ So we'll type it out. And then I'm rebooting my website, so that's down right now. And then if you want to work one-on-one, I have a link tree on my Instagram. And I'm creating some courses as well as a monthly membership for more content and meditations and offerings and activations and all the
Perfect.
things.
Girl, am I following you on Instagram? I should get on that.
I
Let's follow each other on Instagram. I'm
How
gonna
silly.
look for you.
I haven't posted, but I'm getting into posting more. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, and you are an absolute delight. I look forward to connecting back soon.
Yes, me too.
Thank you so much.